What up, my good peoples? Hey, y'all. Welcome to another episode of the Convicted to Grow podcast. I'm your girl, Coach Tressa, motivational speaker, confidence and business coach. My goal is not only to help you build confidence when it comes to life and in business, but to also bring practical strategies and tips and also bring people from all walks of life to share their growth journey. Now, listen, y'all, before we get started, please make sure that if you're on the audio side to hop over to the YouTube channel at Convicted to Grow so you can see the visuals of this. Now, today it's me and you again. Yes, listen, y'all, I told y'all before, maybe a few episodes ago, that you're going to get more of solo podcast episodes from me. Why? Because y'all got to get to know me and I got to listen. Either A, I'm going to be the expert of interviewing guests, or I got to provide you guys with practical strategies as well. So it's me, but don't worry, y'all. We're back next week with some amazing guests. I have, let's see, 4 or 5 lined up for batch recording next week. So I'm so excited. So we will be back to bringing guests and I'll trickle in here and there, with the solo stuff. Plus, I think it's important that you get a little bit of both because my story, my journey may not resonate with you, but there may be a guest that comes on and you could resonate with them. And so I'm excited about that for the lineup. Your girl needed a break. Like it's a lot. I think, and this is for my podcasters real quick. So, you have some people who do solo and then you have some people who do guests. And yes, the guests for a host, the guests from the is much easier because all I have to do is just ad lib and ask questions, right? And they're doing all the talking. But from the back end, the logistics and things like that, it is a little bit more work because one, I have a checklist like getting the podcast release form, getting the bio, getting the photo for the flyer, and just going through that, doing a pre-call. And, whereas when I do the solo stuff, it's just really me just showing up, start recording, editing, and things like that. I don't have to do a flyer. I actually do my own, but I don't have to do a flyer when it's just me by myself. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. And just so you guys know, thank y'all. Thank y'all for last week. The texts, the prayers, the comments. I even got flowers. So yeah, thank y'all. Thank y'all for showing up and just asking me how am I doing, right? And for those who don't know, last week was the 2-year anniversary or the 2-year anniversary of my significant other's passing on November the 8th. And so of course I did an episode last Friday. Go check that out. It talks about grieving, grinding, growing with gratitude. And so thank y'all once again for just checking in. I mean, I was like, some people I hadn't even talked to in a minute and they text. And so thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. Now, let's go ahead and get started. This is what I was thinking. I want to talk to my entrepreneurs. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different because I have a heart for those who are really trying to just strive in their business, their brand. I have a heart for that because I know what it feels like to build, rebuild, reinvent, starting over, fail, do it again, fail. Like I know what that feels like. And so I'm going to pretty much, I think I'm going to give you a list of challenges I feel like that hold entrepreneurs back from really truly thriving in their brand and growing in their business, right? And the reason why I know about these challenges because I too have experienced some challenges. You're looking at someone who I ain't new to starting a business. I've actually started businesses in the past, and my very first official business was I used to do events. Like I had an event management company and I was doing that probably, let's see, this 2005, like 2010, 2009. Yeah, 2009, 2010. I used to do events and then I started doing consulting, but I've had, side hustles, going into the entrepreneurship journey. And then for whatever reason, various factors caused me to take a pause for the cause and, not put my all in it just because here's the thing. We all go through seasons in life, right? Life be life and Sometimes it's really truly a challenge to really truly put everything in or put all your eggs in one basket. So today we're going to talk about breaking the barriers of really overcoming those challenges that hold entrepreneurs back. And I'm going to list the challenges, and I'm going to kind of give you guys a rundown of them. And so feel free, get your notebook out, write it down. I think, and this is not in any particular order. And so, and I'm just running off the top of my head here, but I think number one challenge I think that hold entrepreneurs back is the fear of failure. You know how people say failure is not an option. Well, when you're building a business and when you're just starting out, now this is for either you just starting your entrepreneur journey, whether you're doing it part time because you still have a 9 to 5, or maybe you've been doing it for a couple of years and it's still not where it needs to be. But I think fear of failure, we don't want to be judged. We don't want nobody to be like, oh, look at her, look at him and his little business, right? We don't want that pressure of people, let's just say, having something to say if it doesn't grow, if it doesn't thrive. Well, here's the thing. A lot of successful entrepreneurs or business owners that you see today had a lot of failures before they really made it, right? So you can't beat yourself up over when you are thinking about the failure. When you plant the seed of what if my business don't grow? What if I fail? Okay, well, if you fall, it's lessons learned. Look at what caused you to fall or fail, and you document it, and you go back to the drawing board and you re-strategize and you refocus, right? But that's one of the things too, that whole failure. And especially if you started a business before, maybe a couple years ago, and you was like, man, this ain't for the weak. And you was like, nah, I can't do this. It's just too much. It doesn't mean you can't start again. It's okay to start over. Literally, it is okay to start over. So, matter of fact, I think I put some on there. Hold on. Let me put this on here. Let me be professional with this because I actually wrote this down. So hold on. Bam, there you go. Fear of failure. So yes, I think that's one of the challenges that sometimes the whole entrepreneur's back is just really truly thinking like, if I fail, it's gonna be like egg on face. Well, listen, first of all, don't worry about what others say, right? If you believe in your brand, if you believe in your business, it doesn't matter what they say. And we're not going to plant the seed of failure. We're planting the seed of winning, period. Number two, I feel like financial insecurity. You know, it costs to be the boss. It costs, and here's the thing. Sometimes, especially if you are still working your 9 to 5, you still got to have money, right? For your monthly expenses. If you have a family, and so sometimes because maybe you don't have the extra means of financial resources that, is limited of how much you can do starting out with your business. Because if you have a product based business, right? Let's say you have a t-shirt line, you got to go buy the product, right? If you're a service based business, it's a little bit different, but you still got to invest in things like your accounting software, such as like QuickBooks. I always tell entrepreneurs, you got a brand, you got a business, you should be having merch. You should be wearing the brand and wearing it proudly. So that's another cost. Website, your emails, those things cost. If you got a CRM system, marketing materials, advertising, it can cost, right? And sometimes we're limited because of the financial resources we have. And here's the thing, I always say, listen, for example, sometimes like when I first started my business, not this one, but my first business, my consulting company, staffing, right? I had to make a lot of sacrifices. And matter of fact, in 2018, when I made a pivot, because like I said before, I had an event management company, and it was a lot. It was a lot of work doing events, throwing events, and then I kind of put it on the shelf. And then I came back out doing the staffing and the consultant. And, a couple of years I would say I was on a debt diet. Reason why? Because I knew that I couldn't be taking all these vacations. I couldn't be going out hanging with the girls. I couldn't be, spending all this money on, shoes and bags and things like that. You do have to make a sacrifice. I know you want to look good, right? And you want to, just really, how it is. Some of y'all might have spending habits, you spending out your means and things like that. But when you're starting as an entrepreneur, You got to make sacrifice in your spending, especially if you have limited funds, and especially if you're doing this thing by yourself, right? So look at your expenses and see what can you cut, and take that money and start. Here's the thing: have a business, a checking account, and start planting seeds over there and just building that account, for your business. You really got to see the vision and see it even in that, let's see what they call it, incubator stages or whatever you call it, when you're starting a business, because we give up too quickly when we don't see the fruits of the labor. So look at the expenses of all your spending habits and what you can cut, and tell yourself, you know what? I'm going to take this extra money and put it over here in my business. So that's another thing I see. Number 3, lack of confidence and self-doubt. When clients come and work with me when it comes to confidence, it's usually they don't feel confident of being the face of their business and brand. They got a dope concept, product, service, and things like that, but they're not even confident of it, because if they was, they would be thriving in it and really showing up as the face. And so a lot of times that confidence is not there, and you're doubting yourself. You're doubting, like, why am I doing this? Like, what I've learned, and I've said this before in previous content, you got to learn how to be your own or your biggest cheerleader, right? You got to be able to give yourself grace, give yourself compassion. Don't beat yourself up over, of a past failure. That's another thing. Like I talk about the fear of failure. Don't beat yourself up over because, we didn't work the last time. Okay, and this is a new day to be great, new day to thrive, a new day to go after those things that you've been called to do, period. So celebrate your small wins. Celebrate the small wins. And it could be a simple win as you got a lead that came in that's interesting. Maybe you got a meeting schedule on the books, right? Those are wins for me. Like, prime example, last week, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I reached out to 40 HR leaders and organizations about my upcoming workshops of 2025. And I was like, listen, I ain't say listen though, but I did a greeting through email, and, pretty much introducing myself and letting them know my offerings, letting them know, our previous clients, what we've done before, what set us apart. Like, I was confident in my messaging too. And I reached out to 40 people. First of all, that was a win. That was a win. Was it 40 or 50? Did I do 8 a day or 10 a day? I can't remember, but that's another thing. I give myself goals. So regardless, I can't remember if it was 40 or 50, but I reached out, I know at least a minimum of 40 people. And out of that many people, five came back and said, listen, I'm interested in learning more. Let's schedule a meeting. That's another win. I get an opportunity to get them on a Zoom call to talk about my services, with the possibility of now I got something booked, secured, signed, executed for me to come in and do a training and do a workshop, or be able to come in and just do motivational speaking, whatever they need. So that was a win. So here's the thing: fall in love with the process. Fall in love with the process. The end goal is you want to have a successful business. You want to have so much money you've made and, thriving in it. You want to be able to quit your job one day, right? Those are the end goals. But what I had to understand, even for me, was I embrace the journey, because when it's all said and done, I can look back and say, girl, you did that. Look at you. Them late nights, them sacrifices of saying, nope, I can't go out this weekend. Nope, I can't go out shopping this weekend. You know, so, being able to celebrate my small wins keeps the confidence ignited. It keeps me removing any self-doubt. Because here's the thing: if you already plant in your mind that this business not going to go anywhere, you're not going to get any clients, you already planting that in your mind, right? Listen, mindset is everything. Move with great intentions. Move with manifesting what you want. One of the things that I do in the morning time when I wake up, of course, I say my prayer, I'll meditate, but, I'm like, God, thank you for today. Today is going to be a great day. Father God, I thank you in advance for the client that's coming my way. I thank you for that contract that's coming through my email today. I want to just thank you in advance, God, because it did not happen unless it was you that was orchestrating this thing on my behalf. Why? Because I was intentional about it. I manifest on it and I believed it, right? So you want to make sure that you are already planting in your mind. It's already there, even when you don't see it. I keep telling y'all, I got a multi-million dollar company. I keep telling y'all that time just hasn't caught up with me yet, but just wait and see. And so that's another thing, their whole confidence and self-doubt. One of the things I tell clients, you got to write down affirmations. This applies also into your business. Yes, I have life affirmations. Like I'll say, I am beautiful. I am confident. I am naturally dynamic. I am destined for greatness, right? But I also apply affirmations in my business, right? I am a multimillionaire. My business will thrive in 2025. Ooh, that's my tagline. That is my tagline right there. Y'all, my business will thrive in 2025. Look, I told you I expect more in 2024, and we still here in 2024, and more has been coming. My business will thrive and continue to thrive in 2025. I say all to say that I speak affirmations even in my business, I will get, a 5-figure contract, I will get a 6-figure deal. I am the brand ambassador of my vision. I am the visionary of my company and my brand. Like, speak those affirmations, right? And so, give yourself 3 to 5, say it every day, say it out loud, say it proud. You are the visionary. You are the biggest cheerleader of your brand. So you have to be speaking life into it, right? Birth that thing. So that's number 3 that I feel like hold entrepreneurs back. Number 4, overwhelm and burnt out. Like the time, if you're working a 9 to 5, and let's say you have family commitments, so by the time you get off from work, maybe you got to pick the kids up. Maybe you got to help the kids with homework. If you have a spouse, a partner, you're kind of checking in on, your day and how all that's going and things like that. And then by the time you're done with all that, it's like 9 o'clock at night. You got to be at work at 7 o'clock the next day or 8 o'clock the next day. You tired. You tired. Look, you sick and tired of being sick and tired. But that burnout is real because I've had clients who said, Tressa, I want it so bad. Like they really want their business to take off, but they don't have, the energy because the work sometimes demands, causes them to work 10-hour days. And, they still, like I said, got other commitments they got to take care of. And it'd be a lot. And so they be tired. And here's the thing. I always say, make time for it. Make time for it. You have to. Here's an exercise I did with one of my clients. I said, okay, we have 24 hours, 24 hours. I want you to tell me what a typical day looks like, right? What does your day, let's look at it. And after she looked at from work, the commute, coming home, picking up the kids, spending time with the kids, cooking, spending time with hubby, checking on her mom. Like she had a lot of things. And by the time it looked, and then sleep, I think she said she got like 6 hours of sleep. By the time we looked at everything, it literally was like maybe an hour left. And I think that's barely. So here's the thing. Sometimes it's going to be hard. And some seasons you're not going to be able to just go all in with your business because maybe for whatever reason, the work demands, you're traveling, you got commitments to the family, maybe you're a caregiver, maybe you have just other things going on. But here's the thing too. I said, it's the small steps, right? So the weekend, if you could know you got time on the weekend to put work in, to build it, to promote it, to research, to, sit down at your email campaigns and stuff like that. Take the time on the weekend when you can. But always make sure you pour back into you because you cannot give and you cannot create right and produce right if your cup is empty or depleted. Like you always got to put time back into yourself. So that's where that self-care comes into play, right? So whatever that self-care looks like to you, maybe it's going to a spa, maybe it's, I'm going to just get away and just spend some time with my friends and my family. Maybe it's going to the beach or journaling. Just take some time for you and focus on, okay, I got to come up with a strategy or really look at how am I going to really put time into my business? Because right now I feel overwhelmed, I feel burnt out, and I cannot think. And here's the thing about burnout: when you are so burnt out, your thoughts are all over the place. There's no focus at all, right? I remember in 2018 when I really went through a big burnout. That was like, oh gosh. First thing I did, matter of fact, 2018, I turned 40 that year. I went to the beach. I went to the beach for a couple of days. I love water. Water is life. Water is serenity. Water is peace. I feel like I love going out on the beach with the sun rising and just going when there's nobody on the beach. I feel like that's like my one-on-one time with God. I get the ocean, the calming ocean, even just it's something about it. If you could really resonate with that, put that in the chat. But when I recognize the burnout, I have to take a pause for the cause because I've tried to work through burnout. Like I'm superwoman. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. And what I realized when trying to do everything during burnout, something gets dropped. You get irritated. You get agitated. You get frustrated, aggravated. Like you feel all these things because you trying to be the best and you trying to be there for everybody else. The job, the family, friends, they call on you. You're the yes woman, the yes man, right? But your cup is so depleted, like, and you're overwhelmed. And the thing is, you really want your business to grow, but you don't even have the time to put in your business. And so that's when you really got to look at everything and look at your priorities and say, okay, is this now season? Can I really truly, what can I put into this business right now? Now, this only applies to those who are working a 9 to 5 in terms of, trying to make the time. Now, if you're, let's say, took a leap of faith and you're all into your business and you really try and you still burnt out, go back to the drawing board and look and see, all right, because maybe you're wearing multiple hats too, and maybe you need to alleviate some things, some tasks, getting a virtual assistant, automating some workflows and things like that, so it's not a lot on you. Because a lot of entrepreneurs that start out are solopreneurs. Let's just keep it real. I don't like that word, but most of the time we start out as a solopreneur and we're wearing multiple hats and trying to do it. And so whenever you feel that burnout, take a pause for the cause, take a deep breath and just sit for a minute and listen. There have been times, even because I'm a believer, so there have been times I just ask God, what's next? And there have been times God said, I need you to rest today. That's why like Sundays is like my non-negotiable. I just started putting boundaries in place because I used to be like, yeah, I can record on Sundays. I used to do, podcast recordings even on Sundays just to, accommodate people's schedule. I don't do it no more. I don't. Sundays is my day. It's my day of just reset, my day of really getting my word, putting on some gospel music, waking up, going online, catching a word for the day. But that's like my day to reset, pour back into me so I can thrive Monday through Friday or Monday through Saturday. So think about that. Number 5, you don't have a vision or goals. You got everything up here. I've had somebody one time, I was like, what's your goals? They was like, I know what my goals are. And they had to think about it. And I said, you don't write your goals down. They said, no, I got it up in here. Baby, I can't do it. I cannot. Like, I have to write my goals down. I have to see it. It says write the vision, make it plain. I write my vision down. I write what I want for the year. I write what I want for the quarter. And every beginning of each month, I write down what I want for that month. I'm telling y'all, this is what works for me because I have, we'll do a vision board at the beginning of the year. And it's pretty and all. I don't even cut out pictures. I know some people do vision boards. They cutting out from the magazine and things like that. No, I'm writing it down. It did not say copy and paste pictures. According to the scripture, it says write the vision, make it plain. Write it, not cut and paste, not glue. No, write it down. What do you want? What are you manifesting? Down to, what credit score you want this year. what's your relationship goals? What's your career goals? What's your business goals? What's your money goal? What's your health and wellness goal? What's your personal development goals? Like, y'all, I write it all down at the beginning of the year, and I write everything down that what I want, and then I kind of break it down by quarter. So like, right now we're in the fourth quarter. So beginning of October, I wrote down, okay, this is what I need to accomplish or what I would like to see come to fruition for fourth quarter. Now here's the thing about vision. Too much is given, much is required. You can't just write it down and whatever. You can't just be writing it down and meditating and think it's going to happen just like that. You got to put the work in. So a lot of times with entrepreneurs, it's a mindset too. You got to really change the mindset and start thinking as I am the business. I am the brand. So write the vision. What does your vision look like? And now that we're in fourth quarter, now more than ever, you should start writing out and mapping out what the 2025 plan looks like. If you're not on your 2025 plan, you're not a forward thinker. You're not thinking ahead. You should be thinking ahead. What is it that I want to accomplish? What's my revenue number, my profit number? Where do I want to see my business go for 2025? Who am I going to market? Who's my target client? What offerings I'm going to have? Like, y'all, I did a website. I did it with myself. If you go to 2025workshops.com, 2025workshops.com, you go onto that site right now. I already have down my offerings for 2025. So when I am marketing, even right now, reaching out to companies and leaders and HR professionals and things like that, I send them a little email message and I said, check out my offerings for 2025. Let's talk. And it has all the offerings. Now I do other stuff too, right? I do my one-on-one coaching. I do engagements and things like that. But, for my workshops, the signature workshops that I offer, I want companies to see that, one, I am the business and I take this thing seriously and I'm going to come with excellence. And so I send that out and I said, check out, our 2025 offers. All they got to do is click on that link and it'll show the learning objectives of each workshop, how I can tailor it. It'll show past clients. It'll show snippets of me talking and how they can contact me. So just check it out, workshops.com, right? But that's the thing. I'm a visionary. And so in order for me to manifest and get those things I want, I got to be thinking ahead and what I need to do now to really position myself as the premier company that offer transformative workshops and things like that, or the brand or the speaker who could come in and engage and really truly maximize the crowd and really bring energy, but also strategy and things like that. So you're not clear. So I need you to get clear of your vision and your goals. It's not too late, and I'm telling you now, start writing down 2025. And here's the thing too, this just dropped in my spirit. Be bold with it. Be bold with it. Be bold with your goals. Sometimes we'll limit ourselves and say, if I can just make an extra $1,000 a month, nothing wrong with that. Be bold with it. I want my business to make an extra $10,000 a month, $20,000 a month. Like, be bold with it. I don't know who needs to hear that, but be bold with your goals. Yeah. So being unclear of the vision. Sometimes what I do whenever I go through the burnout phase or whenever I feel like I'm all over the place, I go back to my vision board that I did beginning of this year and I look at it. Matter of fact, I probably look at my vision board several times a month, y'all, because it serves as a reminder what I manifested, what I wanted to accomplish for this year. Is everything that I wrote on that vision board has happened? No, but it's also in timing too, right? And some of the things could have been already done. Prime example, my second book. I don't know why I'm double dutch a little, hesitating on the second book. I wrote it, but then I put it on the shelf and I was like, I'm not ready to release. Then I said, no, I'm gonna do a workbook. Like I need to get it out. And here's the thing, it's not even too late. This is what, November? I still got time to get a book out. My second book is like, Tressa, you done went 7 years since you wrote your first book. Girl, what you waiting on? So this is saying it's on me. So yeah, Number 6, this is one of the things I see a lot of entrepreneurs. Their challenge on this is marketing and promotion. You're not promoting yourself enough. In fact, you don't even have a social media presence. How can you say you're a coach, but all the thing I see on your social media page is you traveling and eating food? I'll wait. You say you this. Like, if you say what you say, then show me the social proof. Show me the social proof, because I need to be able to come to your social media page and say, yep, that's a fitness trainer. Yep, that's a motivational speaker. Yep, that's a coach. Yep, that's a t-shirt. That's a t-shirt brand. Like, if you're going to say what you say, then do it and put it out there. But there's no strategy. You're not marketing yourself. Listen, this is not the old age where we had yellow pages. I don't even think they even give out phone books anymore. If they do, I haven't got one in years. Well, hell, I ain't even got a house phone. But you gotta have a strategy. And that's where that confidence come into play. The confidence ain't there. So you don't feel confident enough to get in front of camera and represent yourself as the CEO, as the visionary, as the coach, the speaker, the consultant, whatever you want to call yourself. You have to be confident in coming in front of the camera and speaking it and letting people know who you are. One of the things I have people do is I said, okay, write down your vision, write down your mission, write down your elevator pitch, your XYZ statement, who you help, how you help them, and things like that. And I said, once you write it down, I want you to say it out loud and you repeat it. I want you to repeat it over and over and over again until you memorize it where you ain't got to read it anymore. And once you read it, being able to memorize it and get it out there, hit the record button and give the world an introduction video of who you are. You gotta promote. I've gotten speaking engagements off my social media. It's like, oh my God, you coming with motivate. Like, even when I'm not, here's the thing. I don't have to be speaking on stage all the time to speak. Because I'll bring motivational minutes, just showing up on live, showing up on this podcast, taking snippets. Like, you got to be the brand. You got to market yourself. And I get it. Everybody is not a marketing guru. That's when you got to realize, okay, either A, I'm going to stop being lazy and I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to put the content out there, or B, sacrifice and say, okay, I need to see what it looks like to hire someone on the marketing side to help me with social media. Nothing wrong with that. Because sometimes some certain things are not your forte. I had somebody tell me I'm not a salesperson. Like, they're like, oh, I'm not a salesperson. I don't look at it like, for me, when I'm going out and promoting myself, I don't look at it necessarily sales. It's like, okay, I am a solutions expert. I'm going to come in and provide solutions. Okay, you tell me your team is dealing with, morale, or the employee engagement is not there, or the turnover is high, or there's no confidence in leadership. Like, I'm listening to the pain points. Now I'm going to bring you the solutions. And when I'm even reaching out to people through email, I look at it as business development, not sales. So that's another thing too. You really got to come up with the strategy of how you going to market your brand. Who is your target audience? And one of the things I will say is this real quick. It can be overwhelming when it comes to social media because there's so many apps. You got Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Threads, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. It's a lot. It's a lot. Like, one of the things for me in 2025, I was like, I wouldn't mind hiring somebody to run my social media. I really wouldn't mind. I just got to find the right person, but it is a lot. And especially when you're trying to build and be consistent with content. So one of the things I will tell you is find your top 2 first, or one, but find the one where you feel like you can get the engagement the most, you feel comfortable the most of being in front of the audience and things like that. Because I had somebody one time who was like, yeah, I need to be putting this out, but I don't know that, and I was like, well, who follow you? And it was mostly family and friends. I said, I'm going to need you to create a whole new page, and you have to start from scratch and getting organic followers. Because first of all, they're not even your customer. They're not even your ideal customer. If you're talking to, your goal is to talk to, certain, groups or certain niche audiences, you can't even be yourself because you're so busy thinking of they looking at me. It's the family and friends. I see this all the time. When I started really taking my strategy, my business seriously, I stopped being as much active on Facebook. I'm like, y'all don't need to know my business anyway. Y'all nosy. Y'all just nosy. You got family and friends, people who you used to work with, church circle, happy hour circle, cousin circle. You have, people that know you. And sometimes we don't want to keep posting ourselves every day or promoting ourselves every day because here's this barrier. Oh, they're gonna think I'm doing too much. You think these successful brands out here care about if someone thinks that they're doing too much? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So what they do, they are promoting consistently, daily. So I was like, I'm not doing Facebook. I said Facebook's gonna be the last platform. If I got the time, they'll get a post here and there. But I'm not promoting myself. I'm not promoting my business. Let me focus on my stuff over here on TikTok and YouTube and IG because I know I get the love. TikTok, I'm monetizing over there already. So I'm going to definitely give them a priority. So be thinking about that. How am I going to really truly put myself out there? And the last thing I would say is lack of support and community. I just said most entrepreneurs are solopreneurs, right? And so when you are a solopreneur and you're trying to do it, because maybe for whatever reason, you really don't have someone in your corner championing you and telling you, man, good job. I see you. I see you winning. I see you putting out the content. I see you showing up for your brand. Those things do help. It helps with confidence, especially when others do notice. And I know I might sound contradicting saying, don't worry about what other people think. But when people see you and they willing to say, hey, I see you. I like what you're doing, that ignites the confidence and it inspires you to keep going. And so sometimes we don't have support. We don't even have support at home. Maybe your partner, whoever, they like, man, if you don't work this 9 to 5, like they may not see it. But see, here's the thing, you're a visionary. That vision's been keeping you up at night. You really, really, really want to see your business grow. You really, really want to be the face of the brand. Whether it's a speaker, coach, consultant, service-based business, or product-based business, whatever that looks like, you really want to see it to grow. You really want to grow because you want to make profit. And if you're still working a 9 to 5, the ultimate goal is I need this business to take off so I can quit my job. And listen, that's a whole nother episode because I'll tell people, don't just quit your day job just yet. You better have a backup plan because in today's economy, listen. But that's a whole nother episode for real. I might do something, maybe not an episode, but a video just talking about that whole shift from employee to entrepreneur. But lack of support. One of the things that I'm so excited about is in 2025, I am going to be doing the accountability community, mentorship and accountability. Because here's the thing, some people are not able or can't afford, let's just say, to work with me one-on-one for 12 weeks. So I am going to be having a community. These last couple of weeks, I've been looking at different apps. You have the Mighty Networks, you have Heartbeat, you have Circle. It's a few that's out there, Kajabi, that you're able to have trainings, have courses, and be able to nurture your community off the social media platform. And so one of the things I've been looking at is where am I going to host this community? Because I really want to nurture my community, especially my community of aspiring coaches and consultants. And, the clients that I have now, the reason why they came to me because they believe in the vision. And it's like, Tressa, I see it. I see your consistency. So here's the thing, when people come work for me, I got the social proof. And not only that, I'm doing a consultation call to really map out what exactly do you need over these next 10 to 12 weeks. So if you would like to be a part of the community, get on the wait list. The description, the link is going to be in the description. And because I think we're going to be going towards Circle. Circle is an app where you have your community in there with discussions, ask the community, like I said, trainings, workshops, courses, like it's going to kind of be in there. So that way I have that all in one place. And so I'm excited to really, truly have that. And here's the thing. I had to look at everything I had on my plate. I was like, all right, I cannot be all over the place because I do workshops, I do speaking, I do one-on-one coaching. What else am I? The podcast. Can I really, 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 build this community? Absolutely, I can, because it's really part of the brand, right? But it's going to foster itself, even with the clients I've already had, because I've had clients that tell me, all right, Tressa, what happens next? Like they don't want to leave after they're done with that program. And so the goal is to continue to nurture them and foster them, and really truly now, instead of the needing me more of a weekly coaching, now I'm there for guidance as a mentor, to ensure that they are confident in their brand, to ensure that they are really positioning themselves as the leader in their lane for their niche area or niche audience, right? And to really be able to show up for social media and really, 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 really thrive as we go into 2025. So with that being said, y'all, listen, I just want to thank y'all. I really do. Please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. I appreciate it in advance. The likes, the comments, the shares. So thank y'all, thank y'all, thank y'all. But I want you to put in the comments what, as far as with me and bring you like solo episodes, what would you like to see more of? I did a poll a while back, and some of you guys were mixed. I was like, we want a little bit of everything, right? We want you to give us tips. We want you to give us motivation. And, so today you got a little bit more business tips or strategies or whatnot. But I just want to encourage you, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, I just want to encourage you that, keep going, even when you don't see things, happening like right now. Keep going. You got to believe. You got to believe that everything that you've been working hard for is going to pay off. Like, look at me with the podcast. I'm so glad I didn't quit. I'm so glad that I hold myself to a high regard to be committed to showing up weekly, because even with podcasts, a lot of people quit at episode 6, episode 10. They don't even make it to past episode 20 because they're like, it's work and it takes time, it takes money, and because even with you got to host it somewhere, so you got to pay for that, right? But I always tell people, just keep going, keep going, keep going, and just know I am rooting for you. And I always say, life is a journey, life is priceless, and to some, life is short. But while you here on God's green earth, you maximize who you are, you recognize who you are, strategize the game plan for next year, and that way you can go ahead and monetize off that thing. And so keep doing you. I would love to get feedback from you in the comment section. And yeah, and until next time, now next week, we're coming with a guest. So get ready, get ready, get ready. Love you.